So I used to be a fan of Ethan Klein, like a pretty big fan, I would say. I was a huge supporter of all his older content, and I was even a huge supporter of the podcast when it first came out. Like, I actually watched it. I watched like the first couple of seasons of it. I mean, I thought Ethan did a decent job. He really grew. He grew to become a good podcast. So as the seasons went by, Ela found her voice eventually, and I think she did a really good job being Ethan's co-host. And then you got the guys like my boy Zach. That dude was crazy, funny guy. Ian the intern, even though I don't think he's an intern anymore. Funny guy, cool guy. I don't think he gets enough credit. And then the producer Dan, he's all right. He's all right. But there just came to a point where I couldn't watch him anymore. I couldn't stand Ethan Klein, and it's for a ton of reasons. I mean, just watch Gokinaru's video, and that really just sum it. I think that's a great summary of it. But Ethan Klein just does his best to try and annoy as many people possible. He really does. Like, I feel like he goes out of his way sometimes. Um, I don't know. Just dumb takes, and it probably really started when he tried to take down Keemstar. Like, I'm not a huge Keemstar supporter or anything, but all that did was just make him look worse. Keemstar's reputation has not changed since then. People who hate him still hate him. People who like him just find him okay. Like, nothing changed. It is what it is. But now it's just like that's really started the big downfall of Ethan, in my opinion, at least. I just couldn't support him for the most part. And now what he's really good at is just tweeting the stupidest shit. Now, I don't ever go on fucking Twitter because, God, Twitter is a fucking hellscape. I fucking hate Twitter. You go on it for 5 seconds and you instantly want to jump off a fucking bridge. So, I haven't seen this yet until today. It's been about 2 days, I believe. Let's just take a look at what I'm talking about. See what we got. All right, so he's promoting the H3 podcast. Whatever. Go for it, man. No, I'm sorry. Is that even the H3 podcast? That this is really bad in my opinion. That trash ass show with Trisha Paytas. They should run as far away from her as possible. That's just my opinion. I genuinely cannot believe that Ela's brother's marrying her or whatever. I don't know. It's a fucking shit show. They should be running as far away from this person as possible. That's just my opinion. Well, scroll down a little more. Here's February 8th. This is recorded on February 10th, so 2 days later. Ethan Klein comments on this little big news right here that a $15 minimum wage in the House's pandemic reconciliation package. Here's what Ethan says. Raising the minimum wage to $15 would be one of the greatest pro-worker changes in modern American history. I am so hoping for this. All right, I mean, that to me means he has good intentions. He hopes that, American workers can make more money per hour, which, on the surface level, that does sound good, right? But all right, I'll get into it a bit. Let's keep talking. Then here's what this dumbass says. So many people have been convinced by McDonald's lobbyists that paying them more will somehow ruin the economy. First off, what the fuck is he talking about? McDonald's lobbyists? What the fuck? All right. Let's keep looking here. Yeah. That's not how the economy works, Ethan. Yeah, I would agree. Here's what this fucking moron says. When bootlicking is a lifestyle, Ethan, shut the fuck up. Holy shit. What the fuck are you talking about? What? I'm gonna try and think this is the simplest way I can put it. I think what Ethan thinks here is that, greedy big corporations just don't want to pay lower level employees more money, which, yeah, he's kind of right. He is kind of right. They don't really want to pay their low-level employees more money because they want to make money. That's what a corporation does. That's what a business does. Sure, whatever. But here's the thing I don't think he really understands here. The only real thing that gets fucked over by this is not the big corporations. They can afford this shit with no problem. They can afford, like, what is that, like a $3 raise on minimum wage, right around there, because minimum wage is around like $12 now, I think, national. I don't know. So they can afford the $3 raise. They really can. The only thing that this really fucks is small businesses, man. You're really just fucking small businesses, and that's gonna cause a lot of jobs just to disappear because they're not gonna be able to afford it. Like, okay, well, I'm gonna pull my calculator out real quick. Let's think about this. So it's like $12 right now to pay an employee, right? So you raise the three. You raise it 3 times 12. Obviously, that's 24, right? 3 times 8, that's 24, right? Right. So it's 24 more dollars per hour for your worker, right? Okay, that doesn't sound too bad. But let's say a small business has 3 workers employed, right? So times it by 3, that's 72 more dollars per hour, roughly, give or take, right? All right, they can afford that. But let's just assume everybody gets 8 hours a day for 5 days, 40-hour weeks, right? So you got to times the 72 times 5, and times 4. No, I'm stupid. Times 5, times 5. So that's 360 more dollars per week that they got to spend. All right. Now let's do that per month. Times it by 4 weeks on average, right? That is close to $1,500. 1440 is the number I'm getting right now. 1440 on my calculator. So small businesses have to spend like about $1,500 more dollars a month on their workers. Okay. Now let's do that per year. 12 months in a year times it by 12. That's 17,000, a little over $17,000 a year. I'll be honest with you. Some small businesses can't afford that, especially right now while we're in the middle of a fucking pandemic where a lot of businesses are struggling. Like, these big corporations are fine. They're finding ways to go about it. But your mom and pops, dude, they're not really doing too well. They're struggling. I don't think he sees that. All right, let's just see what some more tweets have to say here. No, it wouldn't be. It would make my brother's work that he went to school for worth less than somebody working at a gas station doing labor that didn't take him 4 years to school for. Well, that's true. That is true. Like, some people go to school for what he said, 4 years, right? And what ends up happening is they'll now get paid the same as someone who didn't go to school. It's like it's this like imbalance in the economy. All right. What does Brett have to say? $15 is arbitrary and does significantly more in some places than others. Minimum wage should be tied to local economies and cost of living, then scale every few years according to the price growth. Others arbitrary $15 become arbitrary $25. Robots replace humans. Yeah. So if he's saying what I think he's saying, with the raise in cost for a human worker, what's going to end up happening is a lot of jobs are just going to be replaced by automation and robots and shit. Let's think about it this way. You go to your supermarkets, right? You got a cashier checking you out. What's eventually going to happen is most of your checkout, it's just going to be done through self-checkout and robots. Like, they're just going to straight up replace the human because it's just going to be more cost effective for a business. It's just what it comes down to. So what it really does is Ethan thinks that this is going to help the everyday person. It might end up actually fucking the everyday person because they're going to be out of jobs and less people are going to be hired. All right, let's keep going. Yeah, I think what Dax is saying is pretty true. Well, I know this much. I do not have a minimum wage job. I am a skilled laborer and earn almost double minimum wage now. It's not great, but it's decent. Raise it to 15 an hour, and suddenly I have a minimum wage paying job that they could hire anyone to do at this rate. Thanks. Yeah, because his wage isn't going to go up. It just makes his imbalances in society. You're going to hate what it does, really hate it, because it's not what you think. Also, when this disaster unfolds, be man enough to realize and say it. Yeah. I agree. It's actually surprising. Usually when I read replies to Ethan Klein, I usually see a lot of people support what he's saying. I really do. He seems to actually generally be getting effed with here. A lot of people are going against him, and I'm happy to see it. I think Ethan just speaks out of his ass a lot of the times, and he really doesn't know what he's talking about. He just. I'm not going to say you should or shouldn't be conservative or liberal or whatever, but he's at the point of, being a liberal where you just really do talk out of your fucking ass and just go with what you're feeling and hope it just, like, I don't know, man. Like, it's such a stupid take. If he just said the top part right here, raise the minimum wage to 15 would be one of the greatest pro-American changes in American history, whatever. If he just said that, I really wouldn't care. But the part that really bothered me is so many people have been convinced by McDonald's lobbyists, and then when bootlicking is a lifestyle. Ethan, shut the fuck up. You have no fucking clue what you're fucking talking about. Did you even go to school for business or economics? Are you even knowledgeable in this topic? Because I, for one, I am. I'm going for business communications, and I have to take economics classes. I'm taking marketing classes. I at least am somewhat knowledgeable in this topic. Ethan, don't speak on things you don't know about. I don't understand why that's so hard. I genuinely do not get it. Oh man, I wish Ethan Klein would just. Can't wait to go have my hours drastically cut. Yeah, your hours are gonna get cut. That's just what's gonna happen. Ethan claims this would be the most pro-worker change in modern American history. I'd argue it isn't. I'd argue it'd be one of the most negative things that happen to workers in America. I'm sorry, Ethan, but just raising minimum wage is actually going to screw the worker. It's not going to help them like you think. If you were to look at research or look at just learn anything about the economy, that's not how capitalism works. Whether you like it or not, that's just not how it works. It's not how the economy works. Sorry, not sorry. All right, that's it. I needed to get that rant out. I genuinely wish Ethan would just start speaking on things he knows about instead of just sticking his nose in things he doesn't know shit about. Ethan, if I highly doubt you'd ever watch this. Highly, highly doubt it. But please, research things better. Look into things better. Don't just speak on emotion. Please understand like the things that you talk about, because this is why you get hate. This is why you get hate from people like me who used to genuinely like you. You just speak on things and don't know what you're talking about, and it's almost on purpose at this point, man. I don't know. I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks for listening. Adios, guys.